I proposed several different questions. We're gonna have to really take our time and walk down. I had to go get some extra coffee. I shouldn't be having coffee at night, but I am an Avenger. Okay, whatever that means. I'm an Avenger. Oh, I like that. I'm an Avenger, and I'm here to avenge all logic, every piece of truth that wasn't able to be heard. Hold on a second. Make sure I'm on the right mic. All right, cool. Every piece of truth that wasn't able to be heard because there was some enabling prick. So I want to react to some of these clips from Miss Keke Jones. So she's actually a content creator, right? But she's been going viral for a few different clips that had nothing to do with her actual content. Like she said, her content is about her weight loss journey. She just had a whole bunch of skin stapled up and whatnot. So she listen. I give her respect for that because a lot of big girls are going to just say, "Hey, check it out. I lost 200 pounds, but here I am with all this, these flapping action, flapping all about." You know what I'm saying? You niggas ain't real, man. I'm just saying. She did the whole thing. So anyway, so she went viral for this first post right here, and it's a post of her at basically on a cruise and whatnot. And at the time when I seen it, I felt like it wasn't. I felt like it was clickbait. It didn't really seem real. So one of the things about this whole drama, so she's going viral for this post with her and her husband on the cruise, and it's titled "The Day I Realized My Husband Didn't Want Me," which I think is one of the most cynical, attention-seeking statements to ever make. Whenever someone will just give you their business like that, women will do that. So, and that's why when I was talking about the whole Saeed thing, which I'm gonna break that down again, but the thing about the Saeed thing is that he's proven my theory right about the privileges of being the victim. As soon as someone labels themselves a victim, you no longer critique them, you no longer question their credibility. When someone cannot be critiqued and you can't question their credibility or intention, what does that do? It gives them an unfair advantage over the other party. That's why when someone claims victimhood first, they're able to get the advantage. They're able to get the drop. Okay? Because image wise, they're already getting ahead of it. In that situation, I'm sorry, we have to hold, that's a man. We have to hold people accountable in terms of the part they play in something and what they can do to prevent it. Because something like that, again, a man being penetrated, something totally different. A man being penetrated by another man, something totally different. If they would have tried to do him like that dude who had the broomstick imposed on him all those years ago. I forget his name. I don't know if his name was Amadou, but if it was something like that, if you were drugged and I don't know, given psychedelics and had you outside like Joe Button, just sleepwalking. Well, at least that's what he said. He said it was sleepwalking, right? We have to start having this conversation about, for one, who we listen to, who we give the mic to, and what are we really doing here? Because I had a thought earlier. This little sidebar about this Keke Jones thing. I'm like, God damn, like black women cannot go viral or do not go viral unless they're doing one of a few things: shitting on the black man, lying on the black man, ruining the black man's reputation, or putting the black man's business all out the street. Y'all are never going viral by yourselves. And the thing is, one of the reasons why these things can go viral is because black America and black women in particular love anything, any kind of story that makes black men into Mr. from the color purple. That makes black men into your villain. Right? And one of the ways that y'all keep that going is with the premise of no matter who the woman is, no matter what she does, where she's from, what she looks like, where she lives, she deserves the best man possible, and no man should ever not want to be with her or not want her or not give her what she wants. She deserves a perfect ending. And the reason why y'all do that shit is so that y'all can all avoid doing work. Because if y'all try to join in with this collective mindset of, oh well, we all kind of coming the same, then what it does, and look at what it's done to relationships where men don't realize you don't get shit out the relationship really, especially if you get married. It's keeping it stack. I'm sorry, if you don't negotiate and have an idea, 'cause a lot of men don't really have a clear idea or even have any demands for a relationship, especially when they're young, and that's why women, if you want to get married to a dude, you better get him while younger, because you can get him before he come up with all these demands and things that he needs you to do. He's gonna be way easier, way harder to please if you meet him like later on. But it's also how a lot of guys wind up in these relationships that don't even really make as much sense anymore because they ain't that broke. A lot of times they may have met that girl when they ain't have shit, and that's why broke dating. Shout out to CJ. Broke dating is never the way. It's best for a man to get on his feet. You know what I'm saying? It's broke dating is also fat dating. You know what I mean? That's another thing. So I'm like, you know what? I could easily be out here. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna exaggerate and say I could be smashing everything, but now I could be getting a little more action. But I'm like, you know what? There's so much work to be done with this goddamn channel. This is my masterpiece, and also I'm like, yo, I'm getting back on track to dropping that fucking 40 pounds. I mean, I still be active and stuff like that, but I know that, yo, I could be more disciplined. I could be more dialed in. Now, my bad. Let's go ahead and get into the show and whatnot. But I got into a little sidetrack there. But this is one of the videos that she's going viral for. I believe the one with her at the cruise will play next. But this is where it says the Keke Jones story. He cheated on our marriage. Part one. What are your thoughts? So here we go. This is so this she's going viral for basically doing a live in her wedding dress. And I'm not sure why. And she got, I don't know if she had a wig on over the braids, but if this right here screams I need attention. Anytime a woman will come online and show you her under the wig braids, she asking for it, man. She trying to be dramatic. I don't care.
The wild part about all of this is she didn't even mean to go viral in the very beginning. This all started when Keke and her husband Brandon were on a trip together. You can see here in this frame, she's smiling, trying to get his attention, but
So this is the actual clip right here that people keep talking about, right? So it says the day I realized my husband doesn't want me. So people who like now, men don't understand that women don't just get stimulation from having their nipples touched, having their private parts touched, right? Or just having touched their skin. Women can get stimulation from anything. That's why, as a man, you'll be so blindsided and you're wondering, why are we having this really intense interaction? Why are we arguing? Why are you raising your voice? And I had to realize, oh shit, she's coming. Oh shit, she's actually like busting a nut right now. Because that's why she wants to argue with you. That's why she wants this drama. That's why she wants to know the story. That's why she's asking extra questions. That's why she wants to have it, because these are all, because experiences give her stimulation. Don't ever sleep on a woman's desire for drama. But how do you get drama? By creating problems, or the safest thing to do for any woman is take a harmless or meaningless situation or instance or a moment and making it bigger than what it is. Because if you do that, it can still go left for you, but at least it's not based on the actual problem. You don't have an actual issue. As men are always blindsided by that, and they always will be mistakenly pulled into, how can I say, arguments and confrontations and whatnot, and they don't realize that, yo, this is an ongoing cycle. And they don't realize that they get off on it. So another thing too is with bigger women, now at this point, she's supposed to have lost over 100 pounds. So she was way bigger before. And she also had the surgery to have that loose skin cut. So shout out to her husband. You know what I'm saying? You got the best of both worlds. Cause I said before, it's a lot of women out there who had that surgery. I never forget going on a date with this girl. It's probably one of the prettiest women I've ever been around in my life. This woman was that fucking beautiful. She was a beautiful fucking woman. Like actually, like beautiful. Like she was so fine that I had to go to the bathroom and lean on the counter. Like, God damn, she fine. Fuck. Right? But she had that surgery though. All right. And you know how I knew it was bad? She made a point to tell me on the first day. It was the craziest first. It was like very it was like very clear. Like, yo, I'm probably not gonna see you again. I mean, but I did it for the algorithm. I did it for the culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Listen. Come on now.
Because I always respected your hairline on television.
But anyway, so my point being was that yo, don't ever think that women don't want this kind of drama or want this kind of attention, right? Because this right here, this especially when you see like dramatic posts or captions. Who the fuck writes the day I realized my husband doesn't want me? Because the reason why I say that's because your husband or the concept of your husband not wanting you is your business. And it's such a heavy statement to make about a relationship. You know what it means to say that your husband doesn't want you, right? But not only that, it's not something that the world is supposed to know about. So whenever someone wants to tell you some shit that's not really your business, and they want to over how can I say over divulge or overshare. I say overshare and stuff like that. They're doing that to get a specific reaction out of you. And women's the easiest way they can get a specific reaction out of you is either by making you upset or making you feel bad for them. All right. So she even wrote, I kept trying to get his attention. He looked at other girls like he was embarrassed of me.
He's not there. Not mentally, not emotionally.
Now, mind you, in this video right here, he doesn't really even really seem mad. That's why I don't think it was like an actual like. No one knows what happened before she turned the camera on, what was going on, how he was feeling and whatnot. People just seen this video and it's like, oh my god, this evil man. But I keep telling y'all, America and black women in particular love the story where the black man is the villain. And what's crazy is, and what's sick is, we're gonna start getting into who this person actually is and what their behaviors are. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So this is the first clip she went viral for, and again we have we got Duke here. Let's say his name. So his name is Cam. I mean, he don't really need me to shout him out, man. He's a way bigger content creator than I am. Pause. But shout out to him for doing this work. But also too, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but he seems to be one of the kids. Gay men have this thing where, and again, I think it's rooted in the whole queer community kind of has their own vendetta against straight men. Because whether you're a lesbian and you want to be a man, whether you're a trans woman and you want men to be attracted to you, or you're a gay man and there's some unrequited love on some Frank Ocean shit. Like they all have an axe to grind with straight men, and they will always join in on trying to basically team up with women against straight men. And for the most part, whenever gay men do content about straight women and their relationships, they always jaded as if they talk like they're like they're black women, as if they're actually females and they're not actually men, and they don't tell the story from an objective standpoint at all. There's so many instances where he's making a video and he's trying to like support her. He's trying to shoot her bail and talk sympathetic. And the thing is that for her behavior, so let's go ahead and let's get into this first clip right here of her basically drunk. Oh no, where's my comment? No. Oh well, fuck it. My comment is lost. Here. Let's go here. So there's a lady in the wedding dress open up about how she found out her husband was cheating and gets emotional.
When you just genuinely want to see the good in people, you don't look at that. Yeah, when I first met him, I was like, hell no.
No, not hell no. God damn.
Somebody he gonna move me. You know what I'm saying? He and I just wanted him to be better than what he been through. You know, he told me how the ex-wife cheated, had a baby on him. And yes, people lie, but this is what happened when I talked to her. She told me I sure did. I sure did, but he cheated on me. But before we got married, he did me dirty. Now I didn't believe that. Background on everything that I did, I was thinking maybe we.
Oversharing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump forward to this crash out. I'm gonna play just a little bit of it because you don't need to watch the entire thing. But the way she's carrying on, matter of fact, I want to see if you can see the bottle in her hand. So this is the video right here.
Down. I've been torn down so much in my life. And then when I called my mommy, and I said,
Whenever you hear someone start using a word that don't fit within how they actually speak and stuff like that, she didn't mean to say call my mommy. And this is what for me, these are one of the moments where I can see this may not be that real or you're just that crazy. But for the sake of the story, we're gonna go with you are really that crazy, ma'am. You first of all, what's going on with this chest? Why I don't think tattoos are supposed to go in this order. I don't think they're not supposed to go. This don't make sense. I don't think you're not supposed to do tattoos in your chest. I don't think you're supposed to have multiple tattoos on your chest. That shit look like uh, a desk from public school. It should look like the inside of a old textbook. So much going on. This is busy. Your chest is mad busy, mad distracting.
but mommy, I need you. She won't come here. She won't come here. I begged my mommy.
Fast
I
forward a
tried
little bit.
to talk to him, but he's so hard up. He's such a hard ass nigga, bro. He believe what I'm doing is crazy. He say fuck a nigga. He say stop crying instead of holding me. I want him to hold me. I want him to hold me. I want my dad.
So basically, this is pretty much the live, right? So she's talking about how she's crying out. She looking for him. She's saying, "Mommy and Daddy." Shit sound crazy. But the biggest thing is I don't know, man. Who the hell? Listen. Shit is crazy. Who gets online like this? So going with the story and whatnot, right? These are not the actions of a sane person. These are not the actions of a good woman. Which I want to buy into is a storyline that says, you made me crazy. You're making me act like this. You're the reason why I'm like this. I'm not like this because it's just my personality. I'm not like this because it's just how I get down. No, your actions basically in terms of a straight man somewhere. Because again, all issues women have for the most part think they can have a man solve. Or they can blame a man for. You know what I mean? And in this conversation, everything is about what someone's doing to her and people not giving her enough. But in all actuality, people like this, you'll never be able to love them enough. That's one of the traps that men fall into, like for real. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, men will do a whole lot for the possibility of sex. All right? They'll do a whole lot, including come across a woman like this and say, you know what? I can make it work. Because that's how bad men want to have sex. They will come across a crazy woman and be like, you know what? I can work with her. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. Make sure my sound is right. Hold on, y'all. Quick mic check. Because I hate to be recording. And this shit is not, you know what I mean? Doing what it needs to do. Hold on, y'all. Let's see something real quick. All right, we good. Anyway, we lit. So, all right. Let's play a little more. Actually, you know what? We don't need to play too much more. I'm gonna play like 30 more seconds of this crash out. But it's mostly just this, you know.
Hug me. I want my mom to hug me, but I don't have it. I grew up at a young age, bro. I ran away home. I ran
Why
Then,
is she
then I
skipping
trusted
words?
from the chat line. You remember the chat line? You remember the chat line? I trusted an older man. And he got me to his house. And he got me to his house. And he let a bunch of guys. He let a bunch of guys come in. And he told me that my family ain't gonna come looking for me. And he took my phone. You remember back then we had the little phones that go like that. He took my phone. Then I went to school and they bullied me. They bullied me because I was a big girl. Cause the fucking disease blew me the fuck up. Bitch, I ain't never been happy.
I ain't gonna lie. We might have to soundbite that. But listen, that is the thesis. That is the title right there. Bitch, I ain't never been happy. Let me see if I can bring that back. Hold on.
Bitch, I ain't never been happy.
One more time.
Bitch, I ain't never been happy.
Nah, I gotta clip that one. I gotta clip that one. But listen, real quick. What we looking at is now, mind you, she was even heavier before, and she done came down. She was even bigger before, if you can believe that. You understand? So with that, what that means is when people walk around at a weight like that, first and foremost, in order for you to get that big, you have to make a lot of the wrong decisions and have very low self awareness. I'm still going through it. I still have to tell myself, remind myself, Kassan, that's not working. That's counterproductive. You have to stop doing that. But in order for you to, especially for women, and women really care about how they look. When women can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they don't think to make a change or think I need to stop or think differently, that speaks to there's a disconnect somewhere. And a lot of times, I know it's hard to believe in one now, but again, a lot of women, especially who are overweight, if they're overweight, if you're around them, like all right, and I could be tripping, right? But when I was younger, I knew I messed with a few bigums, you know what I mean? And there was always a disconnect when it came to a relationship, because none of them knew how to give me a fulfilling relationship. But I never forget this one in particular. I always talk about her. She was from California, and she's from liberal land. And I remember like she was. This is 2018. It's around a time where women feel really empowered and really emboldened and talk to you as if they are an authority on what's right and what's wrong, and they can check you and correct you. And basically, this whole activity of overcorrection to the point where there is pretty much no free speech in your relationship, and she is controlling the every ebb and flow of the relationship because she's constantly catching fits, getting emotional, and basically creating this conflict and creating these situations where either there's an apology that has to be made or there needs to be a long drawn out conversation. This one in particular, this is someone who was extremely emotional to the point where when we slept together the first night and everything, she cried afterwards. I remember her saying, "I just don't want to fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up." Mind you, she's next to me saying this shit. I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up. And spoiler alert, she fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Nah, but for real, like she really fucked it up. She was fucking terrible. And as I get older, as I get further and further away, like I mean, from time to time, I think about her. Like right now, this is someone that I could never even tolerate. Now, like even at this moment right here, like this is someone I couldn't tolerate at all. At the time, when I was in the phase of thinking that I could turn a woman into a baddie, or I can upgrade a woman, which you can upgrade a woman, but you cannot make her care about her appearance. You cannot make her want to do her hair. She has to want to learn how to do those things. And also, it takes years for girls to learn how to do their makeup properly and do their hair properly. It takes years. It's an actual skill. Like I always admire any woman who does like her own hair and it look nice. I love that about my ex. My ex. I remember she told me one time. I'm thinking. She said, "Yeah, I have to get I have to do my hair and everything." And I think I was doing the shift at the culture center back when I was still young men's division in SGI, and it was taking me a long time to get back. I'm thinking, oh Christ, man, she gotta go to a hair appointment, and I'm holding her up and this and that, and I get to the house and basically she was talking about, yeah, she doing the hair. Basically, she was doing the hair at the house. I was so impressed. But she said, yeah, I do my own hair. Well, or even like doing her sewings. Like she would do her own sewing. Like, I used to think that she was going. I think I asked her one time about like her getting her hair done, and she said, "Oh no, like no, I do that myself." She said, "I have many talents." So okay, I said, "All right, well, listen, you know."
Because,
That's cap.
because I always respected your hairline on television.
Another thing too is this pitiful face she making. One of the girls is gonna point out the fact that how she's able to fall into this frame so easily. Whenever someone will cry on camera or cry in public and everything, that's a manipulation tactic. All right, because that means that person is a real narc. That means that they whole life they've been telling stories their whole life. They've been telling stories their whole life. Right? Now, at one point, when she's in the camera, you can see her holding the liquor bottle. So I want to go ahead and jump ahead to two different points, and we're gonna go ahead and close it out because the video's taking too long. But this girl right here
Night was
brings way more logic than how can I say? Oh, I know she actually no, she's back. Oh my, you know what? We're gonna jump to 20 in a minute. All right, so this girl right here is bringing way more logic and reason than the actual host of the video. The actual host of the video is like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You're like a real enabler. Like you're not helping. First of all, even when I look in the comment section, it's kind of sick. This person is sick, and people are in the comment section trying to support her and talk about her as if she's just this troubled person who just needs a hug. No, you realize that when people have disorders and stuff like that, they literally they cannot love. Not properly. What they do is people who have like bipolar disorder, BPD, any kind of disorder, what they can do is they're able to communicate how can I say they're able to express love in different ways and communicate in different ways with you that can make you feel very, 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 very special. But everything with someone like that is only for a certain amount of time, certain parts of the year. And what happens is they will give you this big burst of emotion and attention and stuff like that. Well, it's like a surge, and for them, all of that is very draining to them because the part of them that gives it's very short. They have like a very short power bar, and it takes them a long time to recharge that bar depending on where the mental health is at. So people who have those problems, you can think of them as a very loving person, a very affectionate person, but they have their periods of darkness, and depending on if they take their mental health seriously and stuff like that, that has a huge bearing on how they're going to handle things. Do they care enough about themselves and people around them to manage their mental health properly? Like it's a certain reason why I won't have too many sweets when my son's around because I can't be irritable and easily annoyed by having too much sugar in my diet. I'm like, damn, you know what? I'm more irritable. I feel more easily annoyed. You know what I'm saying? I feel more like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to feel like that. And also I know that I'm not the best version of myself. I can't be moving like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be able to handle no stress. I'm not going to be able to be the person I need to be. So that's my way of showing love to people around me and my child and my coworkers and stuff like that is not doing things that's going to put me in an irritable state of mind and make me, mad easier and shit like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I want to play this girl's video and I'm going to get into the host's reaction.
so special. By the way,
And some people believe that it's her fault.
that lady in that wedding dress told y'all every which way that she's an alcoholic. So much so that she said she blacked out at her own wedding. That means her husband didn't get no coochie, by the way. Was blacked out drunk at your wedding, but you got on live in the wedding dress as if that night was so special. I can't make this shit up.
Okay, the coochie thing definitely threw me off with this TikToker, but I feel like you guys forget sometimes that two things can be true at the same time. This woman can get blackout drunk on her wedding day, drinking Casamigos, but she also can have a very big connection to the wedding day and her wedding dress. Like, that's not a far stretch. So just because one thing happens doesn't mean another thing can't also happen.
She also
So what queer people continue to show me is that they just don't really seem to have a good grasp on right from wrong. And when someone is wrong, when someone is fucked up, or put out, I don't want to say no, but no, we have to label people sometimes. Okay, so if it was a straight man, and I said this straight man's an alcoholic, would you make assumptions that he's a real good dude, is that he's able to connect very well with people, that he's very responsible? No, because you would think, oh, if he's an alcoholic, that means that he makes bad decisions. If he's an alcoholic, that means he's probably very violent, very volatile. He might be an angry drunk. It's easier for you to understand how much of a threat, how much of an issue that he can be for people around him if he's an alcoholic. But when it comes to this person right here, because it's a woman, he thinks it's honor. There's nothing to men, and this is gay men. This is their way of being honorable. They think that they're being helpful by trying to imagine these other scenarios, or taking it out of the objective and going into, it could be this, it could mean this, it could mean this. Ma'am, I'm sorry, sir. We have to go with the facts and make an assumption off the facts, not off of what could be. We have to go off of what we see, what was told to us, and what was given to us as it is. It's one thing if there's other facts that you know about. People will look at the situation, look at the facts, and add other stuff to it. It's like the thing with Saeed, and the whole thing was, him saying that he was SA'd and everything, right? Um, People keep. I'm sorry. When I talk to other men about it, they don't relate to his reaction. They don't relate to how he handled it. Meaning that it's not normal, it's not natural for a young, healthy man to feel that afraid and feel traumatized about getting something that men literally pay for and pray for and will do anything for just the possibility of. So it's not far fetched for me to say, no, you're really weird for being afraid of two girls, and not only that, you having the strength to fight them off and get them off you and leave the premises. Because if you thought you was in real danger and something was happening that you didn't want to happen, now if they were trying to cut off a limb, you would run out of there. You would fight them off. If they were trying to really actually rob you at gunpoint, you would run away. You would fight them off and call the cops, right? If I'm just saying, if it was any other kind of danger, you would have fought them off. But you didn't really feel like you was in danger. You just also, when someone's mentally ill, we have to take what they say with a grain of salt. That young man says, I have issues with suicidal thoughts, meaning that means he's mentally ill. A normal person does not think about offing themselves. And he linked some girls playing with him a little bit too rough to you having, so basically some girls giving you free cat gives you a suicidal thought. Sometimes people are just crazy, because for the most part, if y'all gonna be listening to these people, then you might as well go find your local homeless person and just sit down and build with them for a while. I'll bet you they'll say a lot of crazy shit, a lot of wild shit. Since you guys seem to find so much credibility in someone who's telling you, I have issues, I have problems. What that also means is that their judgment is that far off from where it should be. That's what bipolar means. It doesn't mean that they have sound judgment. But people who are queer, people I've observed, I've known, right? Mental health issues seem to be very prevalent in the queer community. They seem to all suffer from what's the word? Depression and some kind of disorder and some kind of ADHD, but a lot of times some kind of mood issue or mood disorder. A lot of them. Mostly anyone whose brain is wired different, whether you're autistic, trans, whatever condition you have, depression is a byproduct. Really, the feelings of depression, which is the emptiness inside you, which comes from no dopamine production. Depression comes from you not producing enough dopamine. Once you're able to produce dopamine, you don't feel that no more. You only feel depression when you can't feel anything, when you can't feel excitement, when you can't feel the feeling of looking forward to something. You know what I mean? But anyway, play a little more. So we gonna get out of here.
said she's diagnosed
diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia, but she doesn't take the medicine. I'm assuming because she likes to drink, and you can't drink and take bipolar medicine. She also told y'all she went to the
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. And oh boy, that's recapping the video. Don't give a fuck about none of that. So he's saying that someone can be bipolar and schizophrenic. Now going by the story that the girl's telling, that someone who's bipolar and schizophrenic, you should believe the story. That means they will literally make up stories. A guy I worked with years ago, I never forget this shit. This was one of the most horrific, not horrific, but just really crazy situations. And that's when I learned what schizophrenia means. Basically, yo, he got it in his head that his neighbors were looking into his window, that he decided to go to their door, take his pants down, and jack off in front of their door. Had to call the cops and everything. He had a whole, it wasn't really a case, it was more of like it was a court thing, but it wasn't really a case. And like, yo, going through that with him was so intense. Yo, listen, him getting out of my life was the best thing for me. This dude was stressing me out so much, and then like could have found out, yo, this dude went and filed a report on me. It was the same day he tried to fight me, that he went and called his caseworker and filed a report. And yo, real talk, he may not have ever even known that he'd done that. Because again, at that time, I didn't understand like what it meant, and it was on a team call where it was on the team with his clinicians and his case manager and everything. And he said, now mind you, case manager's asking me, can you take him to the police station so he can file a report on these people? And he had to butt in and say, listen, I don't know if it happened or not. I'm not sure if it happened. I'm not really sure if all that even happened or not. And in that moment, I was like, okay, this is what it means. He's not able to keep a tight grasp on reality and what's going on. Like, listen, when he thought because in his mind, now mind you, he'd already been in jail a few times. You know what I mean? Because he actually is an actual danger to society. I ain't gonna lie. Now, what he did before was enough to keep him in there, but he was someone who really needed to be in a house with other people, like an actual rooming house, or just some kind of place where someone can keep an eye on him, or just something. But they put him in one of his apartments by himself, which was the safest thing because, like, yo, he would not be able to handle living with other people because he would try and hurt him. You know what I mean? He actually hurt a guy while he was in jail. So when he got locked up that weekend and whatnot, you know what I mean? I think they had to basically ship him down to Mercer County because he missed the court date based off some ish that he did when he was in jail. But anyway.
therapist and said something that was so incriminating, they contacted the proper authorities and removed the kids out the home. And y'all blaming the husband for leaving simply because this lady said that he was cheating. Which, by the way, she said she doesn't know to this day what's true because she has shared their marriage and relationship online, and all of the accusations from the alleged made up bitches came from fake pages. She said that. But if he was, so what? Niggas cheat every day, B. Tighten up.
Just because men cheat on you all the time, or you know of men cheating all the time and you're excusing it and the bar is on the floor, doesn't mean that this woman has to. And honestly, I hate...
No, it literally does mean that, my nigga. It's not a woman that anybody wants. What are you talking about? This whole concept of basically that every woman should experience the very best treatment ever, and everyone, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should get cheated on, but again, that's some woman shit. That's not reality. First of all, women don't care as much about that as you think they do. It's really just a bargaining chip. It's really about how much they like you or don't like you. If a woman want to be in your life, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should do it, I'm not saying you should test it out, but obviously women like the kind of men who cheat. Women like drama. What he's doing is he's participating from the how can I say, the perspective of someone who thinks that he's helping, someone who actually buys into the story, to the point where he's going to disrespect someone that he doesn't know for the sake of what? The girl is bipolar and schizophrenic. Being with just a woman in general can be a whole lot, much less them having actual diagnoses. This is the gay friend that I'm saying again. He's a part of that network of people that keeps a woman from ever leveling up in life, because this kind of guy or this kind of person will always tell them that whatever fucked up thing they're doing is okay because you need to do whatever you need to. You need to do whatever you feel, and this is in real talk. That's some demonic shit. That's what demons say. That's some hellish shit. Because the thing is that we can't have a good world if people just do what they want and just run off an impulse.
When people weaponize other people's mental health struggles and their openness with their mental health struggles against them. That's exactly what's happening in this TikTok with this creator. And
I'm going to comment on that too. The reason why he's saying that is because he has mental health struggles. When people get defensive like that, it's because they are internalizing what's going on and they're making it about them. Don't ever let someone who has a confirmed disorder make you think that they're going to rise to the occasion, be some kind of knight in shining armor, or be, I don't care if it's a man or a woman. If that person is telling you I have a disorder, you know what you're getting into. At best, y'all could be friends with benefits. All right. And listen, if that person can't understand that, or y'all can't get together in that regard, whether you're a man or a woman, then you can't deal with them, because those kind of people cannot be in a relationship full time. Those are the kind of people that you wind up on and off again with, right? Y'all talking, y'all talking for a little bit, y'all fall out, or they drift off. And some relationships are just better that way, rather than you trying to create this full life with them. Like, I always knew with my ex that our relationship probably worked best with us having our own space. I could deal with us being together and whatnot, but I'm like, you seem like someone who needs to have your own time to yourself. But another thing, so I'm going to say is, if you want to be in a long-term relationship, watch out for those women who want a lot of time to themselves. Which again, don't get me wrong, you don't want her in your face all the time. But if a woman really seem like, she needs to go into seclusion, or she needs to spend time away from you and stuff like that, first of all, you don't even know what she's doing. You understand? You don't even know what she's doing as one. But that's usually those are things that unhealthy women be wanting. I'm saying they have more of an obsession with their own own individuality, and a lot of it has to do with you have an insecurity about existing. You know what I'm saying? Rather than having confidence that I have a personality, I believe in this. That's why a belief system is so important. That's why developing positive aspects of your personality is so important. But anyway, he said, I hate when people try. I'm gonna bring it back. He used a lot of not fancy words, but the whole sentence was an example of how leftist people will put together. I don't say a collection of words, but they'll basically put these words together where they all have different meanings, and it's a word. It's like a sentence that comes together to communicate what they're trying to say, but they kind of make everything sound political. So, for example, weaponize. People only use weaponize outside of like sci-fi movies and whatnot. People use weaponize mostly for like political things, and more than likely, now I won't even say that. People use the word weaponize usually when they're making a political argument or something that's political, right? And but we're gonna go ahead and play it real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, he says, I hate when people take people who have the openness. I'm sorry, or people who are open about their mental health struggles, and they take it, try to use it against them. This is someone who's saying that their mental health struggles are so great that she's appearing online in a fucking wedding dress with her braids full of new growth out the wazoo. Okay, this is not the same person. And on top of that, basically, what the girl in the green hat is talking about is that she doesn't even know what's really going on. She said she blacked out her wedding. This dude said just because she blacked out during her wedding that she can't have not had a significant connection to that day. The reason why he's saying that is because, again, that's how he's lived. Listen, gay people who party and stuff like that, they party hard, bro. They're really all about having a good time. Like they're gonna have a way better time than you could ever have. You understand me? them dudes have bathrooms in certain clubs where they just go in there and just do it in the dark with a stranger. They go to glory holes, fam. They facilitate glory holes. These niggas live on the edge. They have a whole strip of land called Fire Island that's specifically for gay dudes to go to get crazy. I could be wrong, but I think Fire Island is like mostly for gay dudes. I don't know. I could be wrong though.
Mean that this woman has to. And honestly, I hate when people weaponize other people's mental health struggles and their openness with their mental health struggles against them. That's exactly what's happening in this TikTok with this creator. And this sucks, to be honest.
No, it doesn't suck. What it does is stop people like you from being able to come around others and they think you're normal or they're taking you serious and kind of find out you're having an episode, kind of find out, oh, okay, you're not actually even really upset. You're just fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Or kind of find out you're trying to manipulate me. These kind of people fuck up societies because these kind of people are actually mentally ill, but they're not labeled as mentally ill. Especially more than ever now because we're able to put all these labels on them, and because you've labeled yourself as bipolar or whatever it is, there's no other, like, how can I say, there's no other expectation after that. No one's saying, yo, okay, all right, so what's next? How are you managing that? You know what I'm saying? How are we determining? How do we determine as a group that person is managing their mental illness correctly? No one's doing that. So therefore, these people go about life doing whatever the hell they want to do. And then they gain momentum, they run out of control, and here you are online in the goddamn wedding dress, crying your eyes out.
But I feel like it's important to talk about the kids and CPS. So Keke has been very open and vocal about her kids being taken away from her because of her mental health struggles. She's mentioned that she went to a therapist at one point, and what she said to the therapist, I hate to laugh about this. This is not funny. But what she said to the therapist was so alarming that the therapist contacted the proper authorities or organization to then have her children taken away from her.
You heard that she said that he doesn't mean to laugh. Remember I said, yo, it really be seeming like queer people have a hard time understanding right from wrong, yo. They have a hard time understanding, like basically there are boundaries and things you do and don't do in terms of tradition, in terms of what's normal. All right. Now, he said two things can be true at one time. You can be a blackout drunk and still be able to have a personal connection to a day. You hate when people weaponize your mental health. And then the next clip is about someone whose mental health is so bad they lost their kids. Whenever a woman is separated from her kids, she has really fucked up. That means that she's really, if this is true, that means she has really screwed up. It doesn't mean that she's been killing it. She's a good person. That means that she has gotten in really big trouble. They don't just take women away from their kids for no reason. That's the last thing they want to do is separate those kids from their mother. That is the last resort. You understand me? But she gonna go ahead and tell the story. Keke Jones tell part of the story of her crash out on her cheating husband and how she lost the kids.
Gotta get me something to eat. I got that thing on me. I come back. Now, when I get to this part of the crash out, I ain't gonna say too much because I just still a CPS case open and I don't need this shit right now. I just want my babies, right? But I come back. This nigga in the house, y'all, and not only is he in the house, he washing and drying clothes. It smells fresh in the house and shit. I'm pissed. I don't smell no freshness, no Tide detergent in the house. And not only is he back, he brought his ex-wife's little son. No, his ex-wife's godson. They had a godson together before the marriage. He brought him back, and he's on the table eating my cupcake. My cupcake. My Hershey's cupcake, y'all. That's the new brand. It's new. Hershey's just did a collab with Debbie Snacks. It was only, only two in a pack. He only ate one because when I started crashing out, that cupcake flew. Okay, I don't want to say too much. But bitch, he tried to. I said, oh, you want to play? Oh, you want to play? I grabbed the sugar. I ran outside. I put it all in that tank. Man, go.
First of all, this story sound made up, but we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. She's basically saying she mentioned having her pistol. So she pulled her pistol on someone in that house, and she said, "I'm not gonna say too much," which means that you did something that's illegal. So it sounds like you saying that you came in there and pulled out your pistol on either the little kid or your husband in that house.
Oh, man, please, please. I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting this. What did I get? Oh, okay. Whatever, right? I came back. He got the top lock on. He locked me out the house. So guess what? I started beating the windows. I'm not realizing the kid in me, y'all. I'm losing my mind. Some say go to that damn window bottom. Allegedly, sugar in the tank. Allegedly, I don't know.
She said she poured all the sugar in his tank. She went to his car and poured all the sugar in his tank. Now, I'm not sure that's an urban myth or old wives tale or not, but as far as I know, if you put sugar in someone's tank, it will ruin their car. You literally cannot do that shit. She was trying to make his car explode. So, I guess this is the story she told to her therapist. Now, again, the dude telling the story had to edit this video and put this in here, and he didn't try to shoot her bail and try to criticize people who will look at her like a nut, and she is a nut. These are not stories that a normal person tells. But again, what people think is okay is based off of how they actually think.
I opened the motherfucking window, y'all. The window, I don't know why the window was unlocked. I think I always unlock that window just in case, because, like I said, it's not my first time crashing out, and he liked to lock the bitch out the house. So I think probably 6 months ago I unlocked that window. I come through the window. I got the phone, I got something in my hand. I got something allegedly in my hand. He looking at me. He calling 911. Bitch calling 911. I'm gonna tell you about the CPS. I come through the window like a motherfucking Spider-Man. Bitch, you wanna play with me? You wanna lock me out my own motherfucking house? I know that the little boy, he was scared. I ain't gonna lie. Cause he started calling 911, and that is how CPS got involved.
I was trying to get help from my baby father when he beat me down to the ground with a newborn in my hand, and I dropped my baby.
All right, all these stories came along to one person. I'm trying to stay on topic and ride with it, but anyway, I wanted to play this real quick. I think I heard this in the car. I think this is her real quick. Hold on.
Of a man who is clearly, at the very least, entertaining other women.
But this was the play all along, to present you all with male-centered content. No matter how much you women get up here and say, "Oh, I hate a male-centered bitch," you love it. They sell it to you and you buy it. You love it. Now she's been on live saying how she wants to be the one you all say, "We made the right person famous." She's telling you all that she's going to start recording her going to get on her medicine that she was supposed to be doing to get her kids back, but she didn't do any of it on her own like a real bitch. Like, come on now, I'm not following no loser shit. Y'all not finna make me do it. I'm not finna hype up no loser shit. Fuck that. Coming up here wanting to be somebody off of sympathy and hoping that they can get an audience off of other loser bitches. Now, I'm just sitting here wondering, where the fuck is the content? Where's the content? Oh, we pray for you. I can relate to what? To what? Being a loser? Like, we got to start being honest up here. We got to. She is the fucking problem. I don't care. She's the problem. She still does not have her kids back. But she put a wedding dress on, pressed live with liquor.
It does seem like Keke doesn't have a lot of support in her life, and her outlet is the internet. And while it is something, it is definitely an outlet. It does make her vulnerability and breakdown really, really hard to watch. And what really strikes me about Keke, especially now.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there, man. Cause oh my goodness gracious, bro, this nigga just this. Anyway, so first and foremost, do not ever feel sorry for someone just because they're in a bad situation. That goes by case basis. You need to make sure that you get to know that person and you understand the whole story, because people will assuming that they should feel bad for you, especially for women, because we all want to have a heart for women because we love our mothers, love our grandma, and our sisters and stuff like that, right? And so it's hard to judge a woman too harshly. And I'm not saying to judge somebody unfairly, but like I said before, someone who has any kind of disorder that they will admit to, you can, first of all, I cannot believe them. Also, you shouldn't feel sorry for them because those kind of people, they make other people's lives live in hell. She just told a story, and again, women only tell the truth indirectly because women communicate indirectly. What she described was basically pulling a pistol on his godson, or at least him, or a point, or basically domestic violence. If this dude actually did lock you out the house, right, that would mean that you get so damn crazy that all he can do is lock you out the house until you, I don't know if you sober up, I don't know if you sober up outside, but basically, this person is a raging fucking lunatic. Like an actual danger. And old girl made a really good point about you don't have your kids back, but you online dancing around in your wedding dress, crying and getting drunk. Not only that, she mentioned the whole thing about, she does not take her medicine because you can't drink liquor with the medicine. I can remember that guy I'm telling you about. I remember him mentioning that, that he not supposed to be smoking weed because of the medicine that he takes. Then eventually he stopped taking the medicine so that he could smoke, and that's when he started having his episodes. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave this right here for right now. But the reason why I want to get into this subject is because this is what black men actually be dealing with. Because again, a lot of women that black men date are going to be on a heavier side or whatnot, and going to be bigger girls. And usually, and this is something I learned when I wasn't in relationships anymore. Even when I got with my ex, I seen that she had lost weight. And I said, oh shit, I had no idea that you was that big before. And excuse me, off rip, one of my policies is, if she used to be big, watch her. Because it's always going to be some residue of that person. Because she's going to still be thinking like a big girl. She's going to still have insecurities like a big girl and still deal with her emotions like a big girl. Because she may not understand the part that her emotions play. You also got to realize that women like having emotions. They like the feelings they get from the emotions. They like the stimulation. That's why they do these things. Just because it's because she's crying does not mean that she's not enjoying the stimulation. The way you can understand what I'm saying is when, if you can think of a time where you got into an argument and how the argument began to escalate more and more and more. And a part of the escalation was the excitement growing in your belly from having the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And when you're younger, this happens a lot more, doesn't it? And it happens more because you're more emotional and your hormones are going more crazy. I think I had way more emotional moments before I was 24 than I'll ever have. You know what I mean? The only time I ever get like really excited or upset is with my son mother. As far as like interactions, I might get annoyed with friends here and there and have little conflicts here and there. But as far as like getting really mad, it's only going to happen mostly with one person. I don't have no one trying to make me upset. You know what I mean? But anywho, in my relationships that I've had with bigger women, excuse me, there's never really going to be enough. Because they're always going to find a way to hear. How can I say? Can I say like rebel? You know, but we're going to say rebel. They're always going to be kind of doing the opposite of what actually works. Because again, the same mind that inspires them to make those bad decisions that make them that heavy, same thing with myself, is the same mind that makes the other decisions for life. So anyway, whenever the heat comes on and I hear the water coming, it dead ass sound like the water's leaking from somewhere. Anywho, we out of here, man. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I want to see y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.